Hey folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video brought to you by the creators of Proprietary Price Pattern and Time Methodology. Learn the PPT methodology and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. The day is Tuesday, November 27th. It is approximately 2:35 p.m. Eastern Time. The markets just recently have done their first major move of the day. You can see in the morning time we had a little bit of a sell-off, but for the most part it's been a quiet day until recently. We just saw a nice little sell-off here. The market starting to tick to the downside. Now we just took out the lows of the day right here. So here was your low of the day. This is telling me that we're most likely going to the lows from yesterday based on the current levels, although this current point, the low from the day, will be minor support. So just be aware of that, folks, that again, it looks like we're getting a fair amount of selling to come in the markets here on the back of a little bit of a dollar spike. So dollar inching up, some word on the fiscal cliff kind of leaking out. I mean, it's basically just a little bit of jumble out there, and that's enough to freak the markets out just in the short term here. So we are starting to see a little bit of selling coming in. The SPY is dropping, making the low of the day. Again, your support line is going to be the low from yesterday right here at 140.15. If you take that out, 200 MA is a possibility of getting hit, which is at 139.85 or so. All right, just going over a couple little odds and ends today. We are, again, as I said, seeing a majority of stocks pulling back. The one strong stock out there, I mean, there's a few strong stocks, but one of the leaders today is Google. Google having a good day, although it's pulling back off of its highs dramatically. Google was up much, much more, about $5 more. You can see the same drop here being seen in Google's intraday chart as it was on the SPY just a minute ago. Remember, the SPY mirrors the S&P 500. Essentially, it is the S&P 500. All right, Apple today pulling back as well, although not a steep pullback after a big move up yesterday. You can see Apple was floating back up, seeing a little bit of minor selling here on the day, down about $5 and change, but not exactly a big drop there whatsoever. Couple stocks in motion here as well. Amazon, which was down earlier, went to the positive side. It is now pulling back to the negative side. This stock, to me, on the daily is at some key resistance. I won't short it until it gets up in this range, but if it shot straight up there by tomorrow, I would probably consider a short at that point in time. I do think at that point there is an intriguing level there on the short side, which is right around the 248.50-ish, 248.25-ish area. All right. Let me just scan through again. Let's see what else is going on. Scanning through here. Markets, again, looking to continue a little bit of selling. Let me just pop back to the SPY. See what we have going on here. Down about 48 cents. We're still holding the low from the day. So, I mean, you had a wide range bar, which generally tells us we'll go a little bit lower at some point. But right now, you are holding the low of the day. Again, if you go lower, you know the levels to watch on the intraday chart of the SPY. Dollar, again, having a nice little bounce day today. Dollar up should equal markets being down, right? Remember, the dollar moves inverse, or the markets move inverse to whatever the dollar is doing. So the dollar's in control, the markets move in the opposite way. Therefore, the UUP up 7 cents, which is the ETF tracking the dollar. The markets should be a little bit lower, and that's exactly what they are doing here. By the way, you could tell the dollar was going to bounce here because if you see on last Friday's drop, it went right into a gap fill right here, and that was also the 50 MA. So again, we can erase these other lines, not as important. So notice the bounce that came off of that after that big drop, which again, you should not be surprised to see that whatsoever. Scanning through a couple other charts here, CRE had a good move this morning. You can see CRE again, beautiful move today, up $1.26 on the day. The daily chart here, you can see you are basically into those highs. This was the high from going back to about May of 2012, and you pierced that again. That's short-term resistance on the charts on CRE. Nice double top there to look for. Goldman Sachs is trading down about $1.43 today. JPM is down just 10 cents. JPM actually holding up a little bit better than Goldman Sachs and a couple of the other financials across the board. Chevron's down $1.53 with Exxon down about 98 cents. If we take a look at the USO down slightly on the day. A couple trend lines here we don't need anymore. But again, just kind of hovering here. As long as you hold the 20, you actually have a neutral to slight upside bias on oil from this current level here. You can see the 20 MA is good support. As long as that holds, you could see a nice little pop on the chart of the USO here. Again, going back to the spiders, there's not a whole lot, aside from this little sell-off here that we're seeing, there's not a whole lot else to talk about today. We're continuing to see a little bit of that hangover. I thought it was interesting that Apple had a big move yesterday and is now pulling back today. Google was down yesterday but is now rallying today. So it almost seems like those two tech stocks, money flow is going from one to the other, and back and forth. Spider starting to down tick a little bit more. We'll see where this market ends the day. Again, we're down about 50 cents on the SPY, and we'll go from there. Have a great afternoon, guys. Come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Proprietary PPT methodology, price pattern and time methodology. It will put you on the right side of any trade position you're looking at. Swing trades, investments, day trades, whatever it may be. Be on the right side of it no matter which way it is by taking and learning the PPT methodology. Take care, guys.